What up, folks? I am Ultrazilla, and we are back with another Ultrazilla Live. And this is a special one because we're going to be talking about Seismic Toys, the Last Dinosaur Kickstarter, and a whole lot more. And to do so, my special guest tonight is Seismic Toys, one of the founders of Seismic Toys. We have Chris Oyo here. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Sal, how are you? Good seeing you.
I've known Chris for quite a while, and it's good to talk to you on an Ultrazilla Live. How are you?
Good. It's nice to see you twice in a week because we were together
I
last week
know.
at the Gamma screenings.
That's right. We did the Gamma screening, Kaiju Brooklyn's Gammerween. I'm like the only one that really on our
Honestly,
end
I love that
called
title.
it Gammerween the entire time. I was like, why isn't it not called Gammerween? Like, I was trying that.
No,
like
I liked it. I thought when you were posting about it, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. It's perfect.
But that was a good time. I thought, it was only like 5 hours or so that we were there, but like it was a
good
cool
way to spend Halloween together amongst friends.
What's that?
It was a good way to spend Halloween together amongst friends.
Yeah.
So
it was just like our own little Halloween party.
Yeah.
Everybody else was dressed up except us. But
we had a job to do.
we had work, but it was fun. I thought it was a really, really cool little event, and it's really really good to see you here on Ultrazilla Live, talking about Seismic Toys' Last Dinosaur. And right off the top here, I gotta say, congratulations, because this was fully funded in 12 hours.
Thank you. Yeah, and I very much appreciated. I can speak for behalf of Alex, who is my partner in crime in Seismic. Totally humbled. We're very grateful to the kaiju community and people that love this film that have sort of rallied behind the release. So really, thank you very much, everybody that supported this.
That's really, really awesome, man. Shout out to Alex, who was supposed to join us as well. He wasn't feeling so hot, so shout out to him. Hope he feels better. It would have been cool to have you both. I've never talked to you both at the same time, or I've never talked to Alex at all, as I was telling you. So,
but we're gonna do a future episode. We'll bring up.
Yeah, we definitely gotta have you guys back to do more. When I was doing these Ultrazilla Lives with guests before, you guys were on the short list to be on the show anyway. Before that, way before this, because you guys have been doing a bunch of these officially licensed figures for a little while now. This isn't your first rodeo doing this stuff, so I wanted to have you guys on. So this is a good start. But Last Dinosaur, man, I love this movie. It's pretty dumb, but what tokusatsu is it? But I only saw this in the last 5 years, I have to say.
Yeah,
I never had seen it before. Last 5 years, it was during those first few months of the pandemic. I can't remember who mentioned it. Somebody in the kaiju community mentioned this movie, and I was just like, I gotta find it. And it was available on YouTube to watch the entire thing. So that's when I first saw it. Was probably 2020, and I loved it. I was like, how did I never watch this movie before?
It's a wonderful gem, to be honest. It's a really cool, we kind of used this term when we were making the campaign, but it's very much a missing link in a lot of ways. It's a missing link as far as tokusatsu. It's maybe not has been as well seen, but it is a huge cult following.
Mm-hmm.
But the film is really special, and it has that 1970s tokusatsu vibes. It also has your Edgar Rice Burroughs films from the 70s, At the Earth's Core,
I
Forgot, People That Time Forgot. So it has that really cool vibe. And again, the fact that it was, a co-production with Rankin Bass, famous for Rudolph and all the wonderful holiday specials. But they've also have a great tie-in with things that they were involved in tokusatsu-wise, like King Kong Escapes and Bermuda Depths and the Ivory Ape. So it's cool to that this film exists. And again, I think I love it. Much like you too. It took me a long time to find the film. I had known about it when I was young, and again, this is early 2000s, and it took me a while to probably. I feel like I must have seen it sort of shortly after, right out of high school, when I started going to conventions more. And I remember I had a friend that had gotten a copy of it at a convention, one of my friends, Camilo, and we wound up watching it, all of us in the room, and it was a really great experience. Actually, funny, Alex was actually, I think, there when we all watched it originally.
Awesome.
So that, again, it shows you how funny things are years later. That you're all watching a movie as friends in a hotel room, at say G Fest, and then years later we're thankfully able to produce this figure.
So cool, so cool. Real quick, want to say hello to Eric Rott in the chat and Ghost Tav, who's very hyped about this. That's very cool. And
Thanks, Ghost.
His favorite part of Last Dinosaur is how they went to an unknown land with one gun and it was jammed.
Wow, that is the plot holes thicken.
Yeah, the cool thing about that movie was like, it's weird because if I would have seen it like a long time ago, I would have never have known it was a Japanese movie. Because it was
True.
like, that co-production, and it's like mostly like American actors in it. It's just like, and Joan Van Ark is in it. Like,
yeah.
Who I would have been like, oh my God, Knots Landing. Because my parents watched all those shows. So, obviously I did, and my sisters did too, because it was always on, even though that was on at like 10 p.m.
It was always a staple on TV. Yeah.
Much different back then. We watched all the 10 p.m. shows as kids. But yeah, it's like, it would have been like so different for me if I would have caught that like way, way, way back then. I wanna play the video, the intro video here for everybody if you haven't seen it.
Since it stomped onto screens back in 1977, fans of The Last Dinosaur have held on to cherished childhood memories of a certain rubber suit Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Most have never had the chance to put them on their shelves until now.
At long last, the dream toy of your childhood is finally real. An officially licensed 30-centimeter vinyl figure of The Last Dinosaur.
Built for kaiju collectors.
I'm Alex Rushdie.
I'm Chris Olio.
And together we are bringing The Last Dinosaur back from the brink. This is the most accurate Last Dinosaur figure ever created, sculpted by the immensely talented Dope Pope.
Dope Pope is a talented sculptor behind the Last Dinosaur figure, and he's also a lifelong movie monster fan. He has worked in the past for companies such as X Plus, Legendary Pictures, Seismic Toys, and Titanic Creations. His sculpting talents have been put to work bringing characters like Iris from Gamera 3, Orga from Godzilla 2000, and Gorgo to life in toy form.
This figure was created using reference materials from the official Rankin Bass archives. Every detail has been meticulously crafted, down to the ridged flap on the back of the suit, where actor Toru Kawai would have actually entered the costume.
Such a cool detail.
Designed in the same scale and spirit as other 30-centimeter vinyl kaiju figures, The Last Dinosaur will fit right in with your Godzilla, Gamera, and Ultraman collection.
In addition, we have a prototype of the Polar Borer, the exploratory ship from the film.
And if we hit our stretch goal, one of these beautiful recreations of the ship will be added to every order. So if you'd like to take a Polar Borer replica back home with you, please back this project and tell your friends about it. Every tier counts towards this stretch goal. And we've got stretch goals beyond that. We were able to pull some incredible material from the official Rankin Bass archives, including behind-the-scenes shots and all sorts of goodies that we can't wait to share with you. One of the highlights for me was uncovering a piece of rarely seen Last Dinosaur production art that we've converted into a beautiful, exclusive poster only for backers of this project.
We've managed to secure a partnership with both stars Joan Van Ark and Triceratops suit actor Tatsumi Mikimoto to offer something special for our higher tier backers, autographed photos from The Last Dinosaur.
This is a really cool piece of history and something that we're just over the moon that we can share with you. Chris and I created Seismic Toys, a truly independent vinyl toy company founded by two kaiju maniacs that have been creating bold, colorful, and nostalgic soft vinyl toys since 2019. We've worked with Dawn of the Monsters, Ultraman, and even Astro Boy, and we've got plenty more in store in the coming months and years.
So why now?
Because The Last Dinosaur fans have waited long enough.
This figure marks the first ever officially licensed Last Dinosaur figure in North America.
And we're doing it in a specially controlled limited run.
And early backers will secure exclusive perks and help unlock stretch goals, such as the incredible polar bear accessory, which will be included with all reward tiers if we hit that goal.
Throughout the campaign, we'll share regular behind-the-scenes photos, updates, and progress reports so you know exactly which stage of production the figure is at.
Follow the campaign now, and together, we can make this figure a reality.
He is the last
I love the song. Yes, the Rankin Bass, part of my childhood.
Oh yeah, that's a perfect
Okay.
perfect piece of nostalgia there.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. Nice video.
Thank you.
Really dug that, man. Like, really well put together. You guys did a good job on that. Let me ask you,
Mhm.
why'd you choose Kickstarter for this one? Because your last ones, you did on your own, no?
Yes. Mhm.
So why'd you choose Kickstarter for this one?
So for Kickstarter, for us, we decided that we wanted to use it as a marketing tool that would sort of get even a more broader audience, because the more we talked about The Last Dinosaur to people, the one thing we discovered was, it goes really well beyond people that are strictly fans of Tokusatsu.
Mhm.
So that was sort of the decision that we made to do it on this platform, because there's so many people that I've talked to that just they recognize it from several different sources. One, they've seen The Last Dinosaur because it's just, again, has a great cult following, and these people, aren't necessarily Godzilla, Gamma, or Ultraman fans.
Mhm.
And the second is obviously people know it from Eisenborg as
Yes.
Emperor Tyrannus,
We'll
because
talk
it was
about, yeah.
used as the same suit, which again has its own cult following as well.
That's a good thing. I mean, like, there's tons of dinosaur fans
Yes.
that know this.
Mhm.
And that's a big thing. And that's like almost like even though like there's a lot of Godzilla fans that I know are dinosaur fans too, including myself. Like,
Yeah.
there's like it's like a whole other genre, the dinosaur collectors.
Yeah.
And like, whether they collect just movie stuff or like, more realistic stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge. It's like a huge market. So definitely, doing it on Kickstarter, it's a good idea to get out there. Did you have any limits? Like, because I know it was a very limited run on this one for the painted figures.
Yes.
That
So
went really, really, really fast.
that's the thing. So the early bird specials are on a lot of certain ones. There's blank, and there's also the painted versions. So those early bird specials will exist until next Saturday. After next Saturday, it'll go to the regular price. So we've been telling people, if you are interested, you can lock in your early bird now, and we'll save you some money on the packaging and on all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So most of our figures in general are all limited run. It really depends on the what the response is to it. Will dictate sort of the final order number that we make.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
see. Because when I popped this page up and set up the page, you couldn't pledge anymore for these.
Oh, gotcha. Well, it was funny because they we actually added a few more early birds to it. So
Yeah, I was just like,
the
wait a
response was
second.
very good. So we like,
Very,
all right,
that's good. That's
Yeah.
actually excellent.
Yeah.
I was hoping to, there was more. I was gonna ask, will there be more? Because it felt like, I mean, before when I woke up the next day, it was gone.
Let me tell you, it was interesting story. So we were, we aimed it for like noon on Thursday to kind of say, okay, we're gonna launch, and probably I don't know whether it's just one of those things with Kickstarter. It was like a weird thing, but like before the campaign officially went like live, you kind of schedule it or whatever, and like donations were coming in, and it was just like, I'm checking my phone throughout the day, and it's just like I was like, whoa, it was like boom, 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 and even up until I went to bed that night, we were funded within the first 12 hours. And I was just like, oh my God, like, we're all texting each other back and forth. It's like, we hit this level. So that was kind of the exciting thing. And again, I'm just very grateful and humbled by people that decided to support it. And, Alex as well.
That's awesome, man. So we got the early bird, which is $215. for it's a 30-centimeter figure, if
Yes.
folks don't know. And this is fully painted, so there's 24 left of 50 if y'all want to jump in. Comes out May 2026. And then you got the blanks, which I know a lot of people like painting stuff, so
Absolutely.
so that's a good one. 165 for that. And that's almost 40. Well, oh no, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. You got a bunch of those left. So then you got a set. What's in the set?
So in the set includes the teaser poster that we were talking about in the video.
Yeah.
So that was very cool. We thankfully got a lot of interesting materials from the Rankin Bass archives. And it was interesting for us as fans to kind of go through it and just see what was there and some stuff that we had never seen before. So we used some of the materials to create that poster. We've also got a series of what you'll see prints there and trading card set. So that's going to be that was kind of an exciting thing. And again, the trading cards especially designed in a very cool retro style. So that's one of the things that we had as well. In addition to that, as far as rewards go, the higher up tier backers, we were lucky enough to actually get in contact with Joan Van Ark and Tatsumi Nikamoto to kind of get them to do a series of limited autographs from the film.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And Nikamoto, it was the Triceratops in the movie.
He was.
Did I read that he, in some scenes, was the T-Rex as well?
Yep. He was the stunt man for the scenes, and for the scenes that were a little too dangerous with the dinosaur, he actually stepped in. But what's interesting about him is he's not only in The Last Dinosaur.
I know what you're going to say.
He's also in Leo.
Yeah.
He's Titanosaurus. And he's also in Gamera Super Monster. He's got a really great resume of suit acting. And again, hopefully this leads to, perhaps him coming out at some point to a convention stateside or North America side. Again, he's probably got wonderful stories, and it's really cool that he wanted to be involved with it too. So, thank you to the Takarada Planning Company for that.
That's so awesome. The cool thing about, him being Titanosaurus is the gentleman that plays the T-Rex played Godzilla in Terror of Godzilla.
Yep. It's a cool connection.
That's a fantastic connection. That is very, very awesome. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff here. You got the really big deluxe set, all kinds of goodies here.
Yeah.
And then you could buy a whole blank wholesale package.
That too,
That's pretty fantastic. And yeah, this is really cool, man.
It's funny with the blanks is I always love seeing what people can do with them. There's so many talented painters out there and people that are in the kaiju community, in the designer toy community, and just in general, or the model kits. And I'm always curious how people paint it, whether they do their own interpretation, they stay screen accurate. So, again, if people get blanks, please, tag us, share it with us. We'd love to see your work, obviously, on it too, should you want to paint one.
Right. Eric asked, new stretch goals, 15,000, right? Almost.
That is correct. Yep. We are 400 away from the next stretch goal. So that's very exciting.
And he also said, man, it's hard watching this and Valiant with Kwanji at the same time.
Yeah, also great fun too.
It's also that old school T-Rex type design, I love that. I just pledged for a paint-a figure, Go said. Extremely difficult to find the standing dinosaur figure. It was nice to have the 3 payment plan option. That's good. I didn't realize that.
Thank you, Ghost. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Excellent. And Space Bee says, cool.
Thanks.
Let's talk about Dope Pope, who designed this figure, who's our friend as well. He joined us at Kaiju Brooklyn's Gammerween. So again, it was just a very small little family affair, and always great to see Dope Pope. Really, really cool guy. Obviously a fantastic designer. If you guys don't know, he designed was that Tiamat from Godzilla and Kong.
Yep.
So yeah, you can't get better than that. I have his Orga figure. that
Yeah.
you showed in the video. I have that figure, which is
Iris is a
cool.
beautiful one too.
Yeah.
He's done some really just great work over the years in general. I mean,
His Titanic
Pulgasari.
creations stuff is
Yep.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's perfect, man. Like really great. Like I love his designs, and this just looks so good.
It is, and it's weird because I've known him for years. Alex has known him for years, and he had done, and I remember seeing it online, and I imagined I'm like, oh, this is obviously his first name is Joe. I was like, Joe, this looks amazing. The Last Dinosaur, you killed it. It's awesome, and like he had a print of it. I must have been at 5 Points. I bought it off him, and he had just sort of posted that he had created the Last Dinosaur, and I just thought, man, if somebody makes a figure of this one day, like he's the guy to sculpt it. Fast forward, 4 or 5 years later, here we are.
I remember that figure
this.
that he designed a while back.
Yeah,
It's just like it really catches your eye. Like it's like the Last Dinosaur is like, yeah, like this T-Rex it's so like iconic in a way,
yeah. He just really
you
captures the
definitely
whole
always see
quality of it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying he captures the whole spirit of the creature, and I think any good sculptor, there's an element of like they put life into it, and it just looks like it just walked off the stage, and again, to Dope Pope's credit, I mean everything that he produces is very much that.
Yeah.
I mean it's beautiful. It's a
Absolutely.
beautiful piece of art.
And this part here where you wrote it's part of the family, you're right. It's like it is that missing link. It also like was one of the movies, like, I mean, again, I didn't know it back in the day, but like, when you go back and look at the history, it's like it's definitely one of those movies that kind of filled the gap between Godzilla movies, because it came out like after Terra,
Yeah, 77.
before Godzilla 84, and there wasn't that much in those years, and the things that were out there was like this dinosaur boom.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, there was like a lot of dinosaur movies, that came out during that time period. So it definitely helped fill that like gap in between. But like the fact that this was also made by like Rankin Bass, like,
Yeah.
for me, that's like I whenever I hear that little theme, Rankin Bass, it was just like this is quality.
Yes.
I mean, I loved The Hobbit, and I loved Rudolph, and all of those. King Kong Escapes, right? Like
100%.
so many things that they were involved with, and everything they've ever been involved with, like I loved as a kid. So that was another like crazy thing when I finally got to see the movie, and it was like realized it was Rankin Bass, and I did all the research at that point, because I just never did. It's just like one of those things. If it's not coming at you, you just don't really like look at it. I don't know. Like you don't really like look into it. And like once I did, I was just like, holy cow. I'm like, how did I not? There's so many interesting things about this movie. And I loved it. And I really, really loved the movie. So it's very, very cool.
Yeah, I mean I think they were very much, I mean, Arthur Rankin and Jules Bass, I mean, they were really trailblazers. They were so creative. I mean, the amount of stuff that they did, it's pretty staggering, and I've read one of Rick's books on the history of Rankin Bass, and it's fascinating just how much stuff they put out. The sad part is a lot of stuff has been lost. There's a lot of shows and specials that have, for various reasons, they're not really available.
That's sad to hear.
It is.
Yeah.
But they're a wonderful creative force.
Heisei Godzilla 420.
Hey,
early
thanks for the good news.
Cool. That's very good
Appreciate
news.
it. Thank you.
And Nathan says, "Wasa."
Hey, Nathan, how are you?
Let's talk about the team.
Yes.
Seismic.
Mhm.
Tell us more about Seismic. How did it come together? If folks don't know, have never like known you guys, tell us all about Seismic.
Sure. So me and Alex have known each other for longer than I want to admit. It's a long time. I'll date myself. I mean, we probably know each other. Gotta be almost 20 years. He's one of the first people that we're all part of a group at G-Fest that we're all friends with, and he's one of the first people that I met and became friends with, and we all kind of formed this little group as you do when you go to conventions. You start meeting people and become friends, and we all latched onto each other, and we were just all of us friends. We would meet up every July, and if we could, we would try to meet up outside of the convention, as many of us as we could. And when you're younger, in your early 20s, and we just friends talking. You're talking over dinner, and you're just like, oh, cool. Wouldn't it be cool to make a toy one day? that'd be awesome. And you start spitballing ideas and all this other stuff. And I had sort of started vending somewhere around 2015, 2016, roughly around that area. And Alex was helping me on it. And again, we kind of just threw the idea out there again. And somewhere around 2018, I remember we sat down and we were just like, let's actually do this.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, we had sort of some ideas of, what we can do. It was probably after a G-Fest that we talked, and it was like, all right, let's, we'll sleep on the idea for a few, but let's actually get on a call. Let's make it happen. So a few weeks after that, I should say, he calls me up and he goes, hey, I know we were talking about maybe doing something like this, something very original. But he goes, hey, I'm, Alex, by day job, he's a video game developer. And he's done some really awesome games, Runbow, Double Cross, and obviously Dawn of the Monsters. And in 2018, he was just starting to work very heavily on Dawn of the Monsters. And he goes, hey, I'm going to show you something. This is what I'm working on. And he pitched Dawn of the Monsters to me, and I was over the moon on it. I thought this was great. He showed me Megadon. He showed me all the creatures and sort of what the game was expecting to be. And I was just like, this is perfect. And it was sort of the perfect vehicle to sort of test the waters on making a toy. So around 2019, we produced the original Megadon toy, which you can see right behind me, actually. Bring it down to show you. And, we found a factory, and we really fell in love with the work and the craftsmanship that they did. And we said, let's do it. We'll do it as a limited run. And we were both big fans of the designer toy community and all this other stuff. And when this figure came to G-Fest for the first time, I mean, it virtually almost sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really great. And we were just like, okay, let's keep going. So we've been essentially doing this since about 2018. Obviously the first product came out in 2019 because it took a little while to develop all the things, set up the business, get the factory, produce stuff, tool it, etc. And then, again, all throughout the craziness of the world, from pandemics and all this other stuff, we just kept producing things. And eventually, somewhere around 2021, we had done 2 Dawn of the Monster toys, a different repaint on Megadon, and we had done Ganira, the crab monster. Yeah. And we were just like, we got an opportunity to do a license with Ultraman. And then we started doing Ultraman toys.
Yeah.
And we've been doing a stream of that over the last few years. And now, again, sort of fast forward this year, we've got quite a number of new licenses from Astro Boy. We've also got Full Moon features, which include Zarkor and Kra, and we got Last Dinosaur. So it's kind of fun to try different IPs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, and all of that is incredible. It was like the perfect storm. Like, Alex was working on a game, yep, which I love. Ultrazilla Jr. loves even more. Ultrazilla Jr. is really good at that game.
We got to do like a video game, like maybe at the next Kaiju Brooklyn, they'll do like a video game contest. That'd be cool because it's such a fun game.
It is a fun game.
I was never much of a gamer, but I finally upgraded from, like, I told you how old it is. I hadn't had anything since PlayStation 2, and then I'd gotten the Switch to get the game, and I fell in love with the game. I couldn't stop playing it. And again, that's kudos to Alex and his 13 AM Games team. I mean, it's really just such a fun game because what's really great about it is it is not just a fighter game. There's a story, there's mission driven, and it's a really just interactive game, and it's just good old fun. Like, that's the thing. It's not like crazy convoluted. For me, as not a huge, I've talked to people that are on both sides of the equation, people that are big gamers, people that are just sort of the casual gamers, and they love this game. And that's just a kudos to them and their team for really creating a wonderful video game.
It's a really good game, and it gave you some really good designs to get yourself started. And I'm sure, that's the thing, man. You guys had, like I was trying to say, like, you guys had like a perfect thing there, right? You had a really perfect vehicle to start launching the toys because it's something that's yours, right? And it was really easy to get that going. That's so, like, people don't understand how important that first IP is.
It is,
because that'll open the doors for you. Like, it's 100%. Like, guys, I'll say this, guys. Me getting the first company to come aboard and send me toys to review was like huge. It just opened the doors for so many other things. And this goes with like anything. Like I'm in the comic industry. That like first gig that I did for somebody else other than myself was a King Kong gig. And like from there, I was able to like, you know, get stuff from DC Comics and then go on board. So it's like that first thing you get is so big.
You never forget it
and
either.
it helps you so much. Like I'm sure like the doors for like Subaraya, like it was a lot easier. I don't know. You guys, you could let us know. But like,
yeah, I mean, listen,
I think a lot.
You know, because Alex's company is 13 AM Games, so we were able to license it between our entity, Seismic, and 13 AM Games. And I think for us, doing the first few years of Dawn of the Monster Toys, it was a really good resume piece to show Subaraya and other companies, hey, this is what we can do. This is what we want to do. And it very much, I think, helped create the first Ultraman figure, which was Duras that we did.
Yeah, which is a fantastic figure.
So thanks. Yeah.
Love that figure. Let's see what. Oh, we got a Monster Report in the house. Congratulations!
Thanks, Nick.
Appreciate
it.
Nick is very cool. Let's see. See what. Nathan's getting a lot of stuff for Christmas. Very good for you. You know, very good. Let's see. Ghost says, I noticed that this year there's been a push for dinosaur and media, Jurassic World Rebirth, Armor Soars reboot. Yeah. Godzilla 70th anniversary announcements. Yeah, there's a lot, you know, like, especially, I mean, whenever there's a Jurassic movie, you know, like, you're going to get that, you know, a lot more interest
I agree.
from the fan base, you know, so there's no doubt about it, you know. Is it okay if I post the link to Kickstarter? Yeah, of course. Sure. Please do. Please do. So I want to switch here. Let's see. Does it switch? No, it doesn't switch. I have to switch it. Oh, wait. Does it switch? Hold on. Trying to switch something here. And I guess I have to remove it. Hey, it's us again. Oh, I lost Chris.
There I am.
Hold on. Okay, so I wanted to go to your Seismic page. So I wanted to ask, like, because you know you have your own you know the IPs that you're working on, but then you're a toy seller, and you know you're a vendor at cons and stuff a lot. Like, how do you like split your business? How does that your business work? Doing both things.
Sure, that's a good question. You know, for us, early on, it was something that when we were sort of testing the waters with the original figure, you know, we, you know, consciously made sure that our table, you know, had a little bit of stuff for everybody. And one of the things that we really strive very hard for at any convention, especially our bigger shows, is try to have something for everybody. Because there are people that come to conventions that they're necessarily not our toy people. Maybe they collect VHS tapes. Maybe they collect books. Maybe they collect, you know, something that's very odd or specific, or maybe they want, you know, some small trinkets of something. Maybe they want Godzilla chopsticks. So we sort of try to do that and just sort of have a little bit of something for everybody. So it isn't just like it's all this, and to show variety between collectors. Because for myself, I have a very wide taste in certain things that I like, and there are figures that I maybe don't gravitate towards. So we try to give a little bit of that for all demographics of people that are collectors, whether you are an articulated toy collector, whether you are, I want the most super accurate, you know, X Plus style, or I just want a Bondi, you know, try to give that little bit of something that anybody that has a specific taste in the genre can gravitate towards. And it's something that we've kind of kept up with a lot of new releases. You know, we try to, I mean, obviously it's, you know, as well as I do, it's very, the sheer amount of Godzilla stuff and kaiju stuff coming out is very hard to, you know, keep up with. So we try to do our best to keep those items in stock, that if people want them, they can order it on the website, or they can come see us at a convention. And for us, splitting up our time, you know, we love developing toys. I think it's just such a really interesting art of creation, whether we are, you know, we sort of conceive them and we'll brainstorm, me and Alex, about this is what we want to do. We go to the appropriate channels and with the licensing. And again, a funny licensing story. And I mean, it's huge kudos to Alex. I mean, The Last Dinosaur was a 9-month intensive search to get the rights to it. It was very complicated because basically who we thought had the rights was like, nope, we don't have it. Nope, they don't have it. So I mean, Alex really did a Herculean effort to get it made and to get the stuff officially signed off for. But once we start kind of deciding, okay, we're going to make this, then we decide, okay, who we're going to work with on it. And we've been really fortunate over the years to work with some really incredible sculptors, people like Dope Hope, Last Bastion Studios, Mike Lambert. And, for us, it's really great to basically kind of say, okay, who do we think is the best fit? And or we'll collaborate with that person prior. I'm like, hey, we're going to do this. And they're like, hey, I really am interested in this. If you're doing these two things, like, hey, this is what I really want to work on. So trying to find that sculptor's passion. Yeah. And then just spending that months working on it, and you're kind of going back and forth with the licensor. Sometimes you're going back with, our own tweaks and what we want to do. And I don't know. I think it's a very fascinating. It's a fun process. I love it. I love getting to kind of collaborate with people in general, whether it's day job or this. I just love that whole getting that synergy and getting ideas and trying to put the best product out there.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with all of that stuff. And like I said, I'm in the comic business, so like I'm constantly collaborating with somebody, so I know that back and forth and making changes and doing stuff. So I know all about that. How that could be really good. Sometimes be a little rocky too. So I get it. How do you feel because you do a lot of shows, like the reaction to the original stuff is compared to like the stuff that you vend?
It's funny because people say, you put an original thing out there and again, it was attached to an IP, but at the time it was a new IP, but response was really great from Dawn of the Monsters. And then obviously you open a larger pool of people that like Ultraman. So when we started showing the Ultraman stuff, that was a whole other pool. You get, now with Last Dinosaur, there's the dinosaur pool. Then with Astro Boy, there's the anime pool. So you're trying to bring in other people that like this IPs, like these types of genres, and just showing off that what we can do. And listen, at the end of the day, we love the art of creation, all of us, but to put something out there and to have somebody love it as much and to get joy out of it, I mean, then at the end of the day, we did our job. And we're just happy that people can enjoy the toys, because that's honestly what they're there for.
Yeah, absolutely. Spacecraft is here. Some plus things, guys, watching live now. Welcome. Nathan says, kind of wish to watch Last Dinosaurs, King Kong Escapes, and other Ultraman shows that came after the original show in 1966. Check around, Nathan. I mean, like, like I said, I watched The Last Dinosaur on YouTube years ago. I don't know if it's still there now, but like, that's where I watched it. And there's always the Internet Archive has a lot of stuff. Layla says, "Hey, Chris." Oh, hi.
Hey, Layla, how are you?
And hi, Ultra Z. Hello. Big love, Chris, and the Seismic fam and Ultrazilla. Thank you.
Thank you.
I see a pterodactyl on the back. Is that a teaser for a next project or just a coincidence?
Well, I mean, anything's always possible, but I think that was just from the film, to be honest, Ghost.
All right. I'm gonna remove this because I want to check out something else here. Let's see, where is all right. So here is that poster you guys are doing. Yeah. It's a really beautiful poster.
It is. And the one that we have is actually sort of like it's sort of a similar pose, but it's different, which is cool because when we saw it, I was like, wow, I've never seen that before.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome. This is the classic one.
Yeah.
This is the classic that everybody knows. And what's cool is you guys are including the borer here.
Yeah.
Like I always found this poster to be very crazy looking, almost phallic, but still an amazing poster. But that thing is really cool. I'm glad you guys are doing that. That's like a nice little extra.
It is. It's cool because you know, when I remember, and again, as a fellow toy person, you definitely appreciate this. Like, I remember when I saw the film for the first time, I was just like, oh, that looks like, you know, Gotengo, or that looks like the modules from like Teenage
Yeah.
Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? So it was just like, it's cool that maybe there was some inspiration there from Last Dinosaur for like Turtles to on the show to do something like that. But we were great. And listen, it's funny because I think we were talking in the chat about, you know, the first night the campaign went live, and Alex is like, all right, you know, I'll make a video in the morning to, you know, pitch the polar board to get the goal. And by the time we woke up in the morning, the goal had already hit for the polar board. So that was, again, we were very, very surprised by it.
Was
Very,
the
very
polar
grateful.
board something you guys planned on doing from the very beginning, or?
We wanted to. It was sort of an add-on, so we wanted just to make sure that it was a sort of the first major stretch goal. So we wanted to basically see if we could pull it off. And again, thanks to everybody, we were able to.
The polar board was designed by Dope Hope as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Excellent. I just saw something here. Wait a second. Layla is Zeke. Hello, Zeke.
Hey, Zeke. Good to see
You
you.
all know Zeke Goji.
Absolutely.
How are you? Let's see. Yeah, some super loving the Gomez glow in the dark. The Dope Hope released me. You guys collaborate with GFest. Love that thing.
Thanks. Yeah, we love our glow in the dark toys too.
Hey, congrats. 15K stretch goal.
Hey.
During the show. How about that?
Hey, say Godzilla. I mean, this you give me like two pieces of good news, one behind the other. This is great.
Excellent. Question. When are you going to do Seismic? And I mean, when Common Rider? What?
Oh, when are we going to do Common Rider? I mean, you know, we love Common Rider. You know, who knows? I mean, we don't have any immediate plans, but anything's possible.
Sure. You know, like, speaking of things you're doing, I will talk about it after. Mm-hmm. I have questions.
Sure.
This guy, though, like, I love him. Like, I'm so glad you guys. I think where I was supposed to put these up before we started looking at the Kickstarter stuff. That's okay.
That's good. It's good.
We're just looking at pics. Now, you mentioned Eisenberg.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, see, the thing is, I knew Eisenberg because I know a lot of the tokusatsu stuff, like, from way back. Like, so I knew Eisenberg, a great dinosaur war, Eisenberg, like, way before I knew Last Dinosaur. And that's because I knew this dude.
Emperor Tyrannus.
Yeah, or Tyrannus or Ururu, depending on, you know, like,
yeah.
Which is the Last Dinosaur suit, as we mentioned before. They just changed the eyes. They gave him like glowing red eyes, and he talks. If you have never seen Great Dinosaur or Eisenberg, try
it is wild.
It is bananas. It's part of a trilogy of shows, and like, it's the middle one. And in this one, like, yeah, it's like the dinosaurs are attacking. They're like kind of. There's like a larger force that, like, you know, behind them and stuff. But like, this dude is bananas. And Chris, we need the repaint. Okay, come on.
Anything's possible. I will tell you that is a separate license from Last Dinosaur.
I'm sure, yeah.
Who knows? Anything's possible. I you know, the future is always many possibilities.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's I know a lot of people, because that's when this dude became a full-on Jew.
Yeah, you know, I didn't see Eisenberg. God, I don't think I saw it up until like 5 years ago for the first time.
It's funny. It's like we're like the opposite on the two things.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it's so cool seeing the use of like anime, and live action stuff together.
Right. It's so like jarring and weird, but so cool, so different. So it always stood out. But man, yeah, this is like
so much fun.
Those series that's like, it's got a lot of potential. Love that guy. But yeah, like, I absolutely love that. Hopefully, my fingers are crossed that you guys could maybe work it out, because you got the design already. Not much to do. I know people that are gonna buy those blanks and you know, create this.
Oh, create their own Ururu, yeah.
Yeah, and like, there's no doubt about it. My question is, why the Last Dinosaur?
Well, funny story about that. It was partially out of I think selfishness in a sense. Me and Alex were talking. We were just like, you know, there's really not a lot of Last Dinosaur stuff. And again, sometimes these ideas just come to it, and we were just like, you know, whatever is out there. Cass has done some toys. M1 has done a toy years ago. It's kind of obscure. It's kind of expensive, hard to find, and especially hard to find with because it came with a polar boar to get the two of them together. I've seen them separately sometimes here and there in the wild, but it's rare. And we were just like, wow, I'd love to have one.
No one's done a realistic one either.
No,
they've all been very stylized.
Right. And to the best of my knowledge, and there's been no model kits of it, as well as I think those are the only two that ever of any kind of merchandise from the film.
Yeah,
so,
officially, yeah. I've seen a lot of like even Dope Pope's own version. I've seen a bunch. Creature Preacher did one.
Yes. Yes.
Which I actually own. I own that one.
They did a great job on that.
So there's been a bunch of ones that unofficial ones, but there's been very little official ones.
Right. And I mean, one of the things that we decided when we saw, this is one of Dope Pope's original models for The Last Dinosaur, is I was just kind of like, we kind of put two and two together, me and Alex, and was like, if there's one to do, he's the person to do it.
Yeah.
And that's honestly why Last Dinosaur came about, because one of the things that I think we like as collectors and as creators is we want to basically do toys of figures that we feel maybe they don't have any representation as a figure, or that we feel like we want to do sort of our own take on it. That's, there's been other figures that have been made, but it's nice to do something that hasn't had a million toys made. Yeah. There's tons of, Gamora figures and all these other things and certain Ultraman toys and Godzilla toys. But for certain characters, there's really not a lot of love. And we wanted to basically bring that and why we love Last Dinosaur, to bring that into the fold of creating the figure. And again, thanks to Dope Pope, we were able to really do it because he nailed it.
I think it's a really good approach, because what I like about that and what I like about what Titanic has been doing is you're grabbing these licenses that are nobody's doing them, and
filling the gaps.
Yeah, you fill in these gaps that are, that's the perfect way to go. Heisei wants to know what the next stretch goal is. Is it too soon to say?
Well, now that we've officially hit the backdrop diorama would be sort of a backdrop for the figure. Now that we've hit 15,000, we will, as we get closer to stretch goals, we will make announcements about them. So please wait and see. Follow us online, or if you've subscribed to the Kickstarter, you will get notified as we get closer to those stretch goals.
Soon. It's coming soon. The way this is flying, it's coming soon, guys. Stay tuned.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Stay tuned. Monster Report at Chris. If you get into Kamen Rider IP, you'll be a Godzilla fans freak's best friend. Ultrazilla, great show. Having Seismic on. Thanks, you, sir. Very cool. Nate says Godzilla 75 is still one of my favorite show. Godzilla suits and design, my opinion, because he looks aggressive. I'm also planning again by Godzilla 75 on Christmas or not. Chris, you have that in stock? Maybe you can help Nathan.
I will try. That's one of those Godzilla store exclusives. And for some reason, through my channels, I have not been able to get them, but never say never. I always ask, even if things are not available the first time, I will always ask. So I'll do my best. You can always message me and I'll see what I can do. But for some reason, that one has been very hard to come across.
I as much as I love that, that's my favorite movie. That's my favorite Godzilla movie is Terra. Sort of. There's things about Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, the first one, and Terra that if I could combine them and make the perfect movie, my perfect Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla movie. But there's things about Terra that I absolutely love. And it was worth putting up because of the suit actor who's also the T-Rex. I wanted to let him have that. The movie is on Plex if ever anybody wants to see it. Okay, very good. That's good to know. Thank you, sir.
It's a great film if anybody hasn't seen it. I think it's a charming film, and it's such a specific piece of history. It's such a niche, and I think for anybody that loves kaiju, tokusatsu, but more importantly, if you just love dinosaurs in general and old dinosaur movies, this is really a great one.
Absolutely. It's so good. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I feel all right, don't go into it looking for like a regular tokusatsu movie,
Right.
because it's not going to feel it, because it's like an American cast mostly, and you know, like it's going to be a little jarring in that way because it feels like a 70s movie.
Yeah.
You know, like, so you know, you got to have like a little bit of an appreciation for like movies like, you know, like Journey to the Center of the Earth and stuff like that, like Chris was saying earlier. You know, like but it has that thing too. Once you see the dinosaurs, you're like, oh yeah. It's such an interesting hybrid of those movies, you know, like, so I love that about it. And yeah, I definitely recommend to go check it out on Plex, because it is very, very cool. And then, you know, go order The Last Dinosaur. Kickstart it. What I wanted to ask you, Chris, is a little bit, as we're going to wind it down in a little bit. But we're going good, so let's keep talking a little bit. Full moon stuff. Yeah. What is going on with that stuff? Because talk about something also that, like, I was like, I couldn't believe you guys were doing it. That is, you know, when I was like in college, those movies, we'd get together, you know, with all my friends and be like, basically our own Mystery Science Theater, like, you know, like while watching those movies. They have a huge special place in my heart, all of those monsters. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, and again, another cool license that we picked up. Alex met with Full Moon, I'll say it was like a year-ish ago. And, you know, they met at a conference, and they were just talking, and he inquired about it, and, you know, through a few conversations, we were able to get the rights to Zarkor and Kron. If anybody remembers those movies during the sort of the late 90s, these were kind of fun direct-to-video movies. Great designs, and these were actually sculpted by Creature Preacher.
Oh, cool.
So again, yeah, he did a great job with them and created their likeness, and they've been really fun to work with. So these will be at some point. I don't have a specific day, but you know, we're going to aim to get these going into 2026 on some level.
Okay.
Between that, we also got Bemular, which was done by a collaboration with John Bellotti and Last Bastion Studios. So that's one that we'll also kind of get back and circle back to as well. Nice. Yeah. But yeah, Full Moon's been great. I mean, and it's weird because I didn't know what to expect when we put the announcement out there, which was like right before G-Fest, and we had the prototypes of these on the table, and people were just, obviously Last Dinosaur was the one that was getting a lot of attention, but the response was great. I was very surprised that people loved it as much. I mean, I knew there was a following, but I was really happy to see that people love these characters.
Oh yeah.
Another deep cut, so to speak, and
very deep cut, like very, very deep cut. Like I haven't seen those movies since the 90s. You know, like,
yeah, it's been a minute for me, to be honest.
So to hear that you guys were doing that is just incredible, honestly. That one collabo with John, please show that again.
Sure. This is sort of a prototype.
That looks really good.
It was designed by John Bellotti of Robo 7 and Kaiju Brooklyn, and sculpted by Last Bastion Studios, Chris Hillseth and Wes Allers, who helped produce it. So this is a fun one that we'll circle back to as well. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes, as you know, when you're making toys, you shift some releases around. So we'll get to all things that we're working on.
Do you think you're gonna do more Kickstarter, or you think, you know, the regular channels?
It's a good question. You know, I think it's going to depend project to project based.
I guess. I mean, I'm sure, like, you know, how good this is doing right now is got to play into it a little bit.
You know, it's an interesting from a marketing perspective. So that sort of was the conceiving idea why we're going to do it on Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. So we might just do it again. You know.
Yeah. No, I mean.
Thanks, Zeke. Appreciate it.
Take his money, or take this guy's money. But awesome. Very, very cool to hear. Like, all of this is fantastic. You know, congratulations on this. Thanks. I mean, it is fantastic that you guys are doing these. You know, like I said, that Last Dinosaur is an amazing movie. You guys should really watch it. It's such a good design because it doesn't feel like a T-Rex itself.
No,
You know, like,
there's something about the old tail dragging dinosaurs that are so nostalgic. I mean, we grew up in that era where those were the toys, prior to Jurassic Park.
mm-hmm.
So more of the scientifically accurate information that we were getting coming out of paleontologists. So it's fun to kind of go back to those older dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I love my scientifically accurate dinosaurs, but there's something that's very cool about the ones we grew up with.
It makes for better toys too.
Yeah, it's a different design,
And Astro Boy, what's the latest on? You guys have it out now? Or
yeah, they are coming out.
Okay,
they were produced in sort of 2 waves in a sense.
Okay.
So they're still being worked on right now. Obviously, with things going on in the world, the things are being produced, and maybe you have to hold off. But we're now getting the Astro Boys are getting there. So that's another one that was a fun project to work on. That we have sort of blind box Astro Boy figures.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and again, another fun idea that we just came up with the concept, and Tezuka thankfully supported it, and those will be coming out at some point. Hard to kind of give an official time, but I'm hoping that they'll by early 2026.
Okay.
But, again, it depends on how shipping is and whatnot.
As far as the other projects you have going, what's coming, as far as just obviously the stuff you announced already,
Sure, I would say as far as what's
date?
next, we are going to have Astro Boy will be pretty much the next thing that we will be releasing, followed very shortly behind by Gigantron, which is also sculpted by Dope Pope. This is currently also on pre-order on our website. If you'd seen Ultraman Rising, which is a fantastic film,
Love that movie.
this is the big kaiju from the film, and again, Dope Pope did just a fantastic job on it. So those will be the immediate things next that we'll be getting, and again, those are on the website. Last Dinosaur will follow suit from there, and then some of the figures that we were talking about earlier, the Zarko Bemular, and some other stuff are what follows suit. I don't have a 100% answer on that yet. We're sort of figuring that out now.
Gotcha. Yeah, Gigantron was the one I was just I didn't know. I know it was coming soon, but I just wasn't sure how far out.
Yeah, it is. It's about almost done from the factory now.
That's fantastic. Okay, great stuff coming up. Now I need to watch that Last Dinosaur movie. You really, really should. It's amazing. And the Astro Boy blind looks cool. How many variations?
So the Astro Boy, I think it's 6 variations, and plus if you buy. Listen, any of the figures that you buy from us as a blind box, there's a chance to get certain chase figures. So there'll be certain different colors on certain characters. So that's the fun part about the blind box sets. Yeah. Obviously, you can buy the whole set, which you're guaranteed the whole set. But within those sets is a possibility of getting one of the chase figures too.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a fun thing to do because we wanted to do something that was in a smaller scale, something that was boxed. So it was a fun thing to kind of dip our toe into and create. And we've also loved Astro Boy. I mean, Alex was a huge Astro Boy fan. I mean, he's been Astro Boy ever since I knew him. Mm-hmm. And I kind of got into Astro Boy by got watching the 1980s one, which I'm a big fan of, and obviously the 2003 remake, which I thought was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of came to Astro Boy sort of later in life, but he'd watched it when he was young.
Yeah, Ultrazilla Jr. likes Astro. I've showed him a few different series.
Mm-hmm.
He really likes it. And he liked the movie,
oh yeah, the CG movie. Yep.
CG movie. So that's Astro Boy is really, really cool. I've had I've reviewed a bunch of Astro Boy toys here. What was I gonna say? I had something else. What the heck? Where is it? Come out. I lost it. Let's see what else we got. That's Mama Kaiju. Okay. And Nathan, we watched Ultraman Rising, in October. It was very, very good. Astro Boy fans unite. What was I gonna say? I hate when that happens. I know.
Nice.
Pterodactyl thrust jet.
Cool ideas.
Mm-hmm. So what I was gonna ask, and I think we'll leave it with this. Any plans? Because you mentioned Astro Boy is on a small scale. any plans to do any other size scales? Because you've been doing like 30 centimeter figures. You know, sometimes folks like smaller scale figures. Now, me, like, you know, I like a lot of like articulated figures.
Sure.
So maybe a two-part question. Any plans to do any articulated figures in the future? And then any plans to do smaller scale figures? It doesn't have to be articulated.
For articulate, I would say we don't have anything planned. We haven't had anything that was on the horizon for that. But as far as different scales, we kind of look at it based on project to project based. You know, for Last Dinosaur, again, originally, if you see the scale behind me, it sort of scales with like the most of our Sofubi's, which are about 9-inch scale.
Yeah.
But when we decided the Last Dinosaur, you know, one of the things that we thought of, we were like, you know, I think this is a better fit for 12 centimeters, 12 inches, 30 centimeters. So it depends on what we're doing, but I mean, I won't say no. I mean, there's things that we're working on that we think will work in different scales. You know, we've kicked around ideas for 6-inch scales and stuff like that. So it's really going to depend on the character, and it's going to depend on the project and what we feel might be the best option for that.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, we were talking about like Ichibancho stuff at Gamerween, and like they're making stuff in smaller scales now.
Yep.
So I was like, you know, like 8-inch and stuff, like 7-inch, 8-inch size. I'm like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you know, maybe smaller scale, maybe, you know, for, you know, it obviously smaller scale comes with it, you know, lower cost for some folks, you know, which is something to explore as well, you know, like to,
absolutely. And
people
again,
would
it depends on your collection.
Was that?
You know, depends on your type of collection. I mean, people that collect, you know, Bandai 6-inch, you know, you want to have something that fits within that scale. But people that collect X Plus, they want the big, you know, 25 or 30 centimeters or Sofubi, same way with like 8-9-inch.
Really great variety and directions. Very cool. Oh, that's a same comment, just better. Another question here. Chris, did you get into kaiju movies later in life, or did TV raise you like most of us?
Oh, TV definitely raised me. It's funny, Ghost. One of the earliest memories I have in general, it's the very first time I remember watching a movie, like an actual movie. I must have been 3 or 4 years old. It was Channel 9, WOR over here. And King Kong Escapes came on. Not King Kong, King Kong versus Godzilla came on TV. And I remember just watching, you know, Kong getting with the balloons going to Mount Fuji and fighting Godzilla. So it's like the first thing it was one of my early memories, you know, and you know, I was a cartoon guy, you know, Transformers and Thundercats and all these other, you know, great IPs. But, you know, it was the first time I remember something like live action that was, you know, and it really just stood with me. And, you know, I think probably like a year or two went by and I remember seeing the tape in Toys R Us and I begged my parents and they finally got it for me. And then from there, you know, I was of the generation of looking for Godzilla in video stores. So you'd go to different video stores and you'd sign up, you'd read about books and, well, I want to find, you know, Terramech Godzilla's not a, you know, this, you know, video giant over here. So I'm going to go to, you know, Palmer Video and look for it there. And, you know, again, these are just some of those fun things. And again, same thing with TV Guide. You'd go there and you'd say, okay, can I go to this person's house and can I watch this movie that I never seen before? And it's part of the thrill of the hunt, and it never really left me. And kaiju films have definitely, and Godzilla in particular, has inspired me in many, many ways.
Yeah, no, I mean, that goes for, I feel like a lot of people of like our generation, like, you know, like as Spacecraft here, Channel 9 was one of the ones here in NYC area, you know, like tri-state area, like that Channel 9 Thanksgiving and the day after Black Friday, you know, now, but like we just called it the day after Thanksgiving back in the day.
Like the Kong marathons, you know.
Yeah, the Kong marathon was on Thanksgiving, and then the day after was Godzilla stuff.
Yeah,
and it was always amazing. And yes, Channel 11 as well.
Always showed Godzilla 85 all the time.
Channel 5 was the drive-in movie also on Saturdays. You know, and they had the Kung Fu movies and Godzilla movies back to back. With wrestling on right before that. I was
Planet of the Apes, all that stuff.
I was like watching TV like crazy. Back then. I remember going to video stores to find Godzilla movies while visiting Chinatown NYC. Man, you know, going to video stores was so many. The boom back then of the video stores was just like insane. It was like multiple within blocks.
Yeah, and it was fun seeing different stores and seeing different video covers
Yes.
or all these other things. And again, it's one of the things that I think for us in our generation, Sal, like the younger generation, they don't know how good they have it. It's you can go on Tubi right now and watch every single Ultraman show, which again, if you'd told me that 10 years ago, I'd be laughing at you. No way. You can go on different places. The way to get this stuff physical media wise, it's so much more accessible than it ever has been. And again, that's thanks to, I think, a lot of, things that have come out of Hollywood. I think Legendary kind of signal boosted, and I think Toho is and again, so many other companies like Super Raya are segueing and making this more of the popular consciousness. Kaiju is really at a renaissance right now, and I think that's really wonderful. And I know for what's the thing that I think is really cool when you see at shows, and again last week at the Gammerween shows, is like the fact that young people are watching this and they're watching the old stuff, and it's just as good to them as the new stuff.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That's one of the things that finally being able to do shows, kaiju shows, has shown me, is the kids and the new, the youngest generation getting into it. And, my own son, loves a lot of this stuff. And, Zeke in the chat, and, shout out Ethan's kaiju reviews. He was at Gammerween, in the Godzilla suit, he's, that kid's very, very knowledgeable. All of these kids, I love seeing it. I love hearing them talk about this stuff.
It's the next generation, they're gonna
it's
carry
so
that on.
great. It's so great. And they are really, really lucky, to have it. But did they have as much fun as we did trying to find things? I don't think so.
There was the hunt aspect. I think
the hunt was amazing because, you would go, like you said, you would go into different video stores.
Yep.
And it's just what is this? I don't know. And there was nothing. We couldn't look on our phone and try to find out all the information. It was just there. That video cassette box. And what is this?
You'd recognize it sometimes by the artwork. I remember I had no idea what War of the Gargantuas was when I was a kid. I'm 6-7 years old, but I recognized it because I said, "Oh, this is the same kind of artwork that the other Paramount Godzilla tapes have," and it's just it's great, and it's just part of that fun memory of the late 80s, early 90s of just discovering these things and reading about it. And I think once you start off as a Godzilla and a Gamera. I mean, first time I saw a Gamera tape, I was through the moon. I knew about Gamera. I had heard about Gamera. Never saw it in the store to buy, and I was thrilled when I finally saw my first one.
Gamera was on a lot when I was a kid. I think I'm just a little bit older than you, Chris. So I think it did stop. They did stop playing them after a while, the Gamera movies, as we got into the later 80s and early 90s, but I remember mid 80s, when I was 10 or so, seeing a lot of Gamera movies on TV.
Sure.
And I think Spacecraft would probably back me up on that. It used to be almost on more than Godzilla in a way. But it wasn't for me until the early 90s when I started going to cons as a teenager, discovering all these other things that the video stores didn't have, It was a crazy, awesome time. All that years of discovery. Back when it was insane. Don't forget Nosferatu, Wolfman, all those movies.
Oh it's wonderful
stuff
to watch that stuff, and thank God it's so accessible now. And again, it's one of the reasons I think I know Alex is too. I'm a big physical media guy. I love collecting, the latest Blu-ray or the 4K. When these things come out, you want to see the best version of it. But there's also something to be said about having the tape of it, And you go from Godzilla, you graduate to Gamera, to Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and then you go into dinosaur films and Ray Harryhausen and all this great stuff.
There's so much. And you know what, man? I am so happy that you are here to bring us some of this stuff, nostalgic stuff, into plastic form, and giving us the option to buy something awesome the Last Dinosaur T-Rex, and upcoming the full moon stuff. That is so cool, man. Really, congrats on everything that's going on, and what you guys are doing, and nothing but bigger and better things for you guys, because you're doing it right. It's really awesome to see.
Thanks. No, we're we work hard. I'll tell you this much: there's a lot of nights, there's a lot of weekends, but we love it. If we didn't love it, we wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
And again, the biggest compliment we can have is somebody gets as much love and joy out of it as we do as creating it. So thank you very much for the kind words on it. And again, huge kudos to everybody that has supported it and that hopefully we'll support it over the next few weeks.
All right, guys, and you heard it. Go out there, go check it out. It is quite cool looking, and yeah, definitely give it your support, because it is one of those figures that you all have to have. I'm gonna pop that into the chat one more time. And there you go. Chris, thank you for joining me tonight to talk all about The Last Dinosaur and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having us on. And again, on behalf of Alex and myself, Sal, I appreciate it so much. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you being here. It was really, really good. All right, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you dug it out there. And you guys have a good night. And we will, I'll be back for more, Ultrazilla Live soon. And we'll try to have Seismic Toys again. Maybe when the full moon stuff goes up.
That'd be fun.
I definitely would like to talk about that a lot more. All right. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us. Till next time. Peace out, peeps.
Take care.